Truth, Money, and Freedom podcast.
Welcome back to Truth, Money, and Freedom. Today is Thursday, January 30th, 2020. One more day to Brexit, guys. One more day. Okay, let me go ahead and get into the meat of the video today, and I'm going to try and keep this really short. Again, down below in the description section, you'll find the list of all the Missouri representatives. This is for everyone. Once again, Second Amendment Preservation Act. I'm still banging the drum, gang. In fact, I just got off the phone with Representative Scott Cupps, who represents Shell Knob, and he is definitely doing this. He is co-sponsoring. I'm still making my phone calls, gang. I mean, I'm not done. I keep going through the list. 10 calls a day. That's what I'm doing. I'm asking if you can do the same. That would be great. If you can't do them during the day because you're working a job, that's okay. I understand. Make them in the evenings and weekends. You'll be leaving a message, but at least you'll be letting your voice be heard. So here's, once again, the roster. This will be linked down below in the description section, and also the current list of everyone who has co-sponsored the bill. The last one's Jeff Messenger on the 29th. That's yesterday. Let me do a refresh on this page and make sure that it's fully updated. And click on co-sponsors. And Jeff Messenger is still the last one on the list. That means we have 43 co-sponsors to HB 1637, the Second Amendment Preservation Act in the House, in the Missouri House. Gang, let's get this number up to 85. Keep making your phone calls, please. I'm still doing it. People I'm talking to directly are still doing it. So that's Jimmy D, David, and many others. So let's keep the heat on. Let's keep it going. And then also, I need to make another request for more people to fill out the witness forms. By the way, I've misspoken in a couple of videos now. I've been calling them co-witness forms, and that's just because I'm getting co-sponsorship of the bill and the witness form kind of mixed up in my mind. But it is a witness form, and the purpose of this witness form is if you can't make it to the state capitol on February 6th, which is the date literally 1 week from today, if you can't make it to the rotunda to show your support for the bill, this is, basically kind of a proxy. So you can fill out this witness form saying you would like to have been there, but you couldn't, and why you support the bill. So in other words, you can't, give a testimony unless you're physically there. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill this out in its place. This is a very easy thing to fill out. I've got it enlarged because I'm going to go through it with you really quick. For those of you who have not done this yet, this is really quick and easy to do. Description section down below, you'll find the link directly to this form. Okay. When you click on it, you will get February 6, 2020, the committee that it's in, Transportation Infrastructure and Public Safety, the bill number SB 588, and the name of the bill, the Second Amendment Preservation Act. It is for the Senate. This is all pre-filled, so you don't have to do any of this. All you have to do is fill out name, middle, first name, middle, last, address, city, state, zip. Now the stuff that's in black is optional. So you can put in a phone number if you want. That's up to you. And then speaking, check 1. You're speaking for the bill. So basically you're voicing your support for the bill. That's what you want to do. For organization information, you don't fill out anything there unless you're representing an organization. So most of you, that would not apply to. And then your testimony. Type in here why you want this bill. Why it's important for you, your family. Why it's important to the state of Missouri and for your progeny. So fill that information out, and then basically put in your email address right down here, and then date of birth, it says optional, and then basically your testimony will be available to the representatives to see online, so please take the time to share your thoughts. If you want to make it easy for them to respond, click or check the email and or phone boxes below. This is whether or not you want to share your information with your representatives. So you can click no on that too if you don't want to share your information. That would be your email and your phone, the 2 points of contact. So that's up to you as well when you fill out the form. And then you just come down here and you click on the boxes that are green. That's kind of like a CAPTCHA. So make sure that it's not a robot or some kind of bot filling out the form. And then click submit. That's all there is to it for the witness form, gang. This is, once again, Ron Calzone's. He's, the custodian of the informational database. He does not share your information with anyone. He takes your privacy very seriously. And only your representative will get this if you click yes. Basically because the form is intended to physically give to your representative because you're not there in person to give your opinion about the bill. It's that simple. So this is your witness form as though you were there. So you can give your testimony as to why you want this bill to pass. So that is the witness form. Let's get on these, gang. We're at 626. So let's get this number up. Let's get it up as high as we possibly can. I'd love to see the number at 5,000. I mean, that would just blow them away up there. Even having it at 1,000 would be nice, but let's go for a higher number than 1,000. Again, if you have filled out this form already, the witness form, please start elbowing your coworkers, your friends, your family to get them to do the same form. This is important, gang. We don't want to end up like California or Virginia in the state of Missouri. That's the importance of the Second Amendment Preservation Act, setting us up as a sanctuary state for all things Second Amendment from the tyrannical federal government. Can I use that word, tyrannical federal government? Because they keep taking our rights away. We're tired of it. And in Missouri, we want to go ahead and have the Second Amendment preserved. And that's what this is all about. Okay, so I've covered everything, about this. I'm going to go on to just a few other things. Here is a Zero Hedge article. World stocks tumble as viral pandemic fears return and the curve re-inverts. So there's a lot of things going on in the news, gang. We're talking about the coronavirus. We're talking about impeachment. And several other things that may or may not even be worth bringing up. But the stock markets are shaky right now. And once again, let's take a look at that real quick. First of all, let's look at the bond rates. And I'm going to do a refresh on this so we can get the newest, freshest numbers. Okay, we have 1.54% yield on the 10-year, which is 1 basis point below the Fed funds rate. Gang, we're going to have another interest rate cut here if this keeps up, and it's going to happen in March. In fact, it may even happen at the halfway point meeting. That would be sometime in February, beginning of February maybe. So we may have a rate cut coming real soon here to the Fed funds rate again, because people are buying bonds. It's putting pressure on the Fed to lower interest rates. So it's happening again. The yield curve inversion is happening again. It's starting all over again. We already had a full inversion. They fixed it. The Fed fixed it. Literally, the fix is in, because they printed a whole lot of money in the repo market to fix that curve, that yield curve inversion. And they're still printing money. And by the way, they're saying that's going till March, the repo market. Remember when they started in September? September 13th maybe? And they said they would stop doing it at the end of September. In the end of September, they said they would stop it at about the 12th of October. In the 12th of October, they said they would stop it in November, at the end of November. And at the end of November, they said, well, we're going to keep it going for a little while yet. They have never stopped the repo market money printing. That's still going on, started September 13th. This is quantitative easing. We're printing fresh money. We're throwing it in the market to try and keep everything alive and keep everything afloat. Okay, so let's look at the markets. Well, we're having a red day. It's not a very bad red day, but it's a red day nonetheless. The numbers are fictional. Remember now, they're printing money and throwing it into these markets. And this should be illegal. It is illegal, technically, but they're doing it anyway because the federal government is completely lawless. They're out of control, and there's nothing we can do about that. And same thing with the Federal Reserve. I will point out that the Hang Seng, the Hong Kong market, took quite a wallop last night, down 2.62%. All the markets are down. So I wanted to show gold and silver are up, even though it says they're down. It's because they reset that at 1 o'clock Central. And it was up at $18 for silver. Gold is still going up, gang. It's still going up. And then also Bitcoin is at $9,400. It's amazing. It was $8,200 literally a week ago. So Bitcoin's going back up again. So there's all kinds of strangeness going on in the markets. They're blaming the virus. However, I will tell you, and they're saying the virus is basically killing the Chinese markets. Now, I will tell you this. It started in September when the Chinese were hitting a very serious economic downturn. So if they want to blame the virus, that's fine. But I remember the downturn starting in September, and it was economic. It had nothing to do with the virus. So, but that's kind of the, your minute in the markets here. I'm watching the bond market mainly. Like I said, this is all just illusionary. So is the bond market anymore because they're just printing so much money and throwing it in bonds as well. But it is, unfortunately, the only indicators that we have. And then the last thing is, for those of you who didn't watch the last podcast I put out, I did do a 2-hour podcast with the Talk Junkies in Kansas City. And I did not post it on Truth, Money, and Freedom because I gave a link to where they've posted on their channel. And I would like you guys, if you have the time, it's a 2-hour podcast, but it's a lot of fun. It's very informative, but it's also fun. There's a little bit of joking around going there. But this was a really, really nice visit with these 3 guys out of Kansas City. And I really appreciated the fact that they invited me on their show to hear my points of view on all things Second Amendment. We talked about climate control. We talked about public schools. We talked about teachers and weather-related stuff. We talked about the Clintons. We talked about a whole bunch of different stuff that I don't even remember. In the 2-hour conversation, there was a lot of stuff covered. But it is kind of a let your hair down moment. It wasn't as like I'm reporting to you right now kind of thing. It was a conversation, and it was very nice. And I look forward to doing more podcasts with these guys. They're interesting guys, and they're fun to talk to. So at any rate, surf on over to the Talk Junkies. I will have a link down below, but I've also partnered with them. So their link will forever be in my description section as long as YouTube lets me stay. But at any rate, so you can always find them below in my description section as partnered with Truth, Money, and Freedom. So that's about it for this podcast, gang. But remember, let's contact those representatives. Let's do it. Let's keep calling them. Let's keep the heat on. Everyone in Missouri, please do this. Everyone outside of Missouri, you can always call too and say, I'm thinking about moving to Missouri if you get this bill, that sort of thing. I'm thinking about moving my business out to Missouri. If you guys were more Second Amendment friendly, I'd bring my business out there. Whatever you need to say. Let's get Missouri set up as a sanctuary state so we all have some place to go when the federal government decides it wants to move into red flag laws or gun confiscation. And so Missouri won't put up with it. And if this bill goes through. The Second Amendment Preservation Act, coupled with Amendment 5 to our Constitution, to the Missouri Constitution, that was done in 2014, will prevent red flag laws in the state of Missouri. Okay. So the co-sponsor list, we'll keep an eye on that. We're at 43. Let's raise it, gang. Let's keep it going. Remember now, Representative Cupps, I just talked to him today, and he is on board. Where is he? Right here, Scott Cupps, representing Shell Knob. So those of you who are keeping a list and actually making notes, Scott Cupps is definitely on board. So we don't have an issue there. There's several more I think will be on board here real soon too, but I don't want to speak for him like I am for Representative Cupps right now because he gave me an ironclad on the phone. So that's it, gang. Once again, thank you for choosing to watch Truth, Money, and Freedom. I appreciate every single one of you. Let's all make a difference. Be the change you want to see in the world, gang. Be the change. All right, thank you for watching. May God bless each and every one of you.